Hey, that was a genuinely decent hockey game, and not just because the Avs won. No, it actually felt watchable. Avs win over the Vegas Golden Knights 3-1 in Game 5 of preseason. Not a ton of highlights in this one, obviously a relatively low-scoring game, especially for preseason, but it was still by far the best game of the preseason that the Avs have played. Both teams iced mostly NHL lineups, and while it wasn't a full 100% NHL regular season game speed, it was close-ish. Enough so that it felt like you could genuinely take things out of this game. The first 30 or so minutes were dominated by the Avs. They outshot Vegas 13-6 in the first period, and there was little doubt who the best player in this game was. It was Jonathan Drouin. Offense, particularly good transition offense like the Avs love to play, starts in your own zone. A bobbled puck puts it along the corner for Vegas in the Avs zone, and the Avs are able to collapse, and it's a very good job by Cal Ritchie to stay in this battle, cause chaos, and allow this puck to get up to Jonathan Drouin along the wall here. He clean wins it, and a nice little chip that we see all the time in an Avs breakout, Drouin to McKinnon, and McKinnon is off to the races through the neutral zone. A nice jump into the play from Sam Girard as well to make this a clean 3-on-3. Vegas has to respect it. McKinnon finds just enough space to put a nice little sauce pass through the middle over to Drouin, who all of a sudden, with McKinnon drawing two defenders, is left wide open to do whatever he wants. He walks in, picks his spot, and beats the goalie clean. Drouin made every shift look effective when he was out there. That's a pretty stark contrast to McKinnon, who was fine in this one. Again, preseason, not reading too much into that. McKinnon just coasting around a little bit. And that top line was rounded out by Cal Ritchie, who made a nice play at the start to win a puck battle in his own zone. That's the type of stuff he needs to do more of. When it comes to Drouin, that kid just looks ready to go this year. That was maybe the first play or goal of preseason that really got me excited and ready to see what the Avs look like when they're back at full speed. For Drouin's sake, that goal was great, but he had multiple other grade A opportunities in this game. Sure, he didn't finish them. He also set up teammates that weren't able to finish. Just an all-around great game from him. His first game of the preseason, by the way. So, yeah, he's pretty good. From there, you had some good and you had some not as good. For me, the Avs second line in this game struggled, and that second line makes up Casey Mittelstadt, Ross Colton, and Nikolai Kovalenko. They did not win the possession battle by any stretch of the imagination, and they just really struggled to put a whole lot of stuff together. To start off the year with the lack of Arturi Lehkonen, that second line is going to be in flux, and they're going to have to figure something out. They have one preseason game left to find a combination that clicks. My assumption is it'll have something to do with Cal Ritchie. I don't think you can realistically throw a 19-year-old with 0 NHL games onto your top line and expect good results. So dropping him down to the second line hopefully can help that line a little bit, but you're going to need more out of that second line come go time. With that being said, the Avs' depth forwards certainly seem to stabilize the Avs effectively, especially in this first half of this game, and they even set up the guy who's having maybe the best preseason of anyone. Sam Girard breaking this puck out. He goes for the snap pass through the middle. This is LOC, who just looks for a redirect dump in here so that the grinders can go to work. They get into the corner. It's first Parker Kelly to get in deep and get a stick in to cause a short little chip from Vegas. LOC obviously also chasing there, but it's a full commit up the wall. Miles Wood is collecting this puck right now. All three grinder forwards in deep doing the work. Wood shows just enough skill, a nice little slip pass back to LOC here to create an opportunity. And this is where a grinder line does run out of talent a little bit. LOC isn't cleanly able to do anything with this puck initially. It ends up kicking off of a skate from a Vegas player, but chaos is the element of the Avs grinders. LOC is able to find this puck, get his stick on it, and just throw it out there, and it's Sam Malinski who has read the play well and put himself into an advantageous position where he can get a good shot off and make it count. Just enough skill and a lucky bounce is how those type of depth forwards are able to create offense. They get in there, they work, and they earn their puck bounces. And then Sam Malinski has just been fantastic for the Avs through this preseason. In my humble opinion, he has by far outpaced any of the other defensemen battling for those bottom pairing spots, particularly Brantstrom and Shillington, who play a similar style of game to Malinski. He's just been objectively better in nearly every single facet compared to those two. Malinski has earned an opportunity, and I think he should be a starting defenseman for that opening night game. Obviously, all of these guys are going to play, and we'll see how things develop once the regular season gets rolling, but Malinski has earned that first shot. So here's the part of the game where it's still a preseason game. The Avs go up by 2, they've played a really good half of a game, and then they start cruising around a little bit. They don't fully pack it in or anything, but they slow down. We'll put it to you that way. And Vegas starts to push back. A not great penalty from Oliver Shillington towards the end of the second period gets Vegas their only goal. Vegas on the power play here, and honestly, for a penalty kill, this is pretty reasonable coverage for the Avs. There's nothing free coming across the crease here. You're actively defending the puck carrier. You have to leave something open, and that something just happens to be Jack Eichel. In a perfect world, you probably have Devontae stepping up in this passing lane to help defend, but you have to give up something, and this is just an all-world shot from Jack Eichel going bar down. I don't really have a problem with anyone on that pay. It's a power play, and Jack Eichel's a really good player who made a really good shot. It happens. In hindsight, knowing that was Vegas' only goal, I really have no problem with it. The Avs did a very good job, even if there was a 10, 15, 20-minute stretch the second half of the second period and the first part of the third period where Vegas was in control of the game. The Avs really did not give up that much. Vegas only netted 22 shots on goal total. While Vegas outpossessed the Avs a little bit, that makes sense because they were trailing for the majority of the game, and in reality, scoring chances were almost exactly even. So even with the parts of the game where Vegas controlled, it really wasn't that dangerous. The third period, for the most part, saw the Avs get back on the horse and play some pretty darn good low event playing with a lead hockey. Of course, you'd have liked an insurance goal earlier, but those are not necessary all the time. It would be Logan O'Connor to dump it into the empty net to have a multi-point night for himself. It's incredible how much of a difference that single player in your bottom 6 makes for the Colorado Avalanche. And the Avs ring in a good win. Yes, the actual result does not matter. It's not that big of a deal. It is nice for the Avs to win at least one preseason game, though. But more importantly, the Avs looked solid. They looked like they can be a team that plays at NHL pace, which we already knew, right? But it's just nice to see it visually. I also liked Annanen's game. He did not have a heavy workload, but stopped every shot he saw at 5-on-5. That's a solid goaltending performance. And you had some other players that looked well. Parker Kelly seems to be locked into the Avs 4C role, and he showed why in this game. He's a very solid depth player who does a lot of the right things. We'll leave it there. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. I am Rudo, and the regular season is so close.